When you hear the words fast food, what is the first thing you think about? Most of you might think of a nice hamburger made by Five Guys or one of your favorite fast food joints like McDonald's, Wendy's, Burger King or Goodies. Some might think of fried food like chicken made by the Colonel himself or Spinach Guy or even Jesus. Why is the church in the chicken business? One man around 1990 in Vienna thought of something else. That's orange and tasty. I am talking about schnitzel. My name is Skull, I do not have an intro, and today's video is about the previously successful Austrian fast food chain that sold schnitzel. Vienna is famous for a lot of things. For being the last fort the Ottomans couldn't get through, having a rapping Elvis Presley impersonator, and schnitzel. Also coffee houses, very famous coffee houses. In 1990 a man took this delicacy, selling it out of his little kiosk. His name, Helmut Schindler. Soon enough, he will open a few more locations, calling them Schnitzelhaus. Before I start going further into the history of the house, let's talk schnitzel. Surrounding the origin of schnitzel, there is a lot of debate. Some claim its origin is from Italian cooking books and got brought to Austria by a man called Radetzky, who gave the recipe to Franz Josef I in the midst of the 1850s, after he personally requested it. But this is just a theory. A food theory. Hire me. Because no official records of such encounter has been documented. My theory is that it's an alternative of Vienna Backhandel, which is basically fried chicken and had its first appearance in 1750s cooking books. The first mention of a schnitzel was in an 1850s cooking book. Back then, it was made with calf. Nowadays, schnitzel is made from a thin, beaten piece of turkey or pork, which gets salted and put into flour, egg, and breadcrumbs. Afterwards, it gets deep fried and served with a slice of lemon. As a side, you can have potato salad, fries, or a mixed salad. You can also get a bit of ketchup or cranberry jam. Now that you are up to date with the most important Austrian treasure, let's get back to the chain that spit on it. And if you don't want to get spit on, wait, no, I doubt my audience is normal. If you want to be spit on, subscribe, like, and share my video. I sadly couldn't find a lot about the first decade of operation, except of a few mentions in form of archived newspaper articles. The earliest one being from 1991, but this was talking about another chain under the same name, operating mostly in Bavaria by a different person. Probably not the same chain. The first mention of our schnitzel house came in 1996 in form of an article talking about the good revenue the chain is creating. This article comedically shares a page with the Unabomber. It seems like he is following me. Most of the articles that I found are mainly advertising on how good and successful of a company the Schnitzel House supposedly is. Now, this is all the information I was able to find regarding the first decade of operation. So I switched tactics. I started going through archived snapshots from their internet page, starting in the year 2000. The website didn't have a lot, but it gave us a look at the first logo under which the chain operated. 41 buildings throughout Vienna, Burgenland, and Lower Austria garnished their entries with this. I don't really like it. Now let's talk menu. The earliest menu I was able to find is from the year 2002. It had things like normal schnitzel, big schnitzel, small schnitzel, and 2 humps of meat. Each item came in either turkey or pork, as well as a side like potato salad or fries. Later on, they added Surfleisch, which is basically pork. Other than that, they also had things like schnitzel burger, normal burger, chicken nuggets, and other items. They also had vegetarian options and kids menus, with a little surprise. A year later in 2003, the menu got a few new veggie items, like baked Emmentaler cheese, as well as fish. In 2005, we got one special new item that combined Mexican food and schnitzel / Gordon Bleu by putting jalapenos in it. Some might call this a fun little idea. I call it a hate crime towards both cultures. In October of 2005, Helmut Schindler had to sell his successful chain. Due to health reasons, he was unable to continue operating this many establishments. He still kept 4 locations in Vienna, which now act as a competitor to the popular chain. The new owners of of the chain were Alexander and Oliver Platzl. The two men already inherited a franchise from their father, Adolf Platzl. I'm going to refer to him mostly as Mr. Platzl because of his nowadays not so common first name. Mr. Platzl started his career in 1972 by selling sausages under the name Würstelmann. He probably used Mann because Adolf's Würstel, translated Adolf's sausage, would give the wrong idea. In 1986, he opened a pizza place under the name Pizzamann in Linz, Upper Austria, expanding his chain to 25 stores in 2002. Later, he handed the company over to his sons, Alexander and Oliver, who now bought the Schnitzelhaus chain for an unknown amount of money. The brothers continued the operation as a joint chain of Pizzamann and Schnitzelhaus, opening 9 new Schnitzelhaus locations in the year of 2007, some of which were Schnitzel-Platzl stores that were just rebranded. A rebrand is also what the entire Schnitzelhaus chain got, thankfully, with the first location in the new design being the one in Linz. Now let's look at the new design. Holy shit, this is worse. The entire pizza takeover wasn't received mixed. Some liked that the new schnitzel were thin, like schnitzel's supposed to be. Others wanted the thick schnitzel that they used to have. Others also just posted the Rhabarber rhyme under the article. You know, the rhyme that later on became the TikTok-Trend song. Ja, der Kuchen, der war gerade so bombastisch. Und die Nachbarin danach, sie steigte drastisch. Somebody followed up this comment with the question, socialism or barbarian? Which I am asking you. Are you a barbarian or are you a socialist? Write it in the comments. Following that, the Schnitzelhaus website also changed. First, just in their colors and logo, with the yellow background becoming white, and later the interface. It also added this map of Austria showing off where to find your favorite chain. In 2012, for example, the Sound of Music city, Salzburg, also got a chain. Fun fact about that, I have never seen Sound of Music even though I'm Austrian. When I saw the word Sound of Music, I thought it was referring to the Falke song. I did not know that the Falke song was based on a musical. I still haven't seen it, and I do not intend to see it. Maybe for a YouTube video, who knows? What I have seen is that the rebranding included this rat mascot for their kids club, which, not to sound crazy or anything, but he looks amazing. I might consider dying for him, and I want his plushie now. I went and looked further into the mascot, but couldn't find a lot except of more rat mascots, which in my book this is a success. One mascot I found was this Volt rat, who ate 2 batteries and left no crumbs. He looks kinda traumatized. The website also includes this Palatschinken or crab giveaway. If I understood correctly, you used to be able to play a flash game. After winning, you got a coupon for a €5 Nutella crab, which is a good deal. The flash game sadly doesn't work anymore, or at least it's not on the Wayback Machine, maybe on another Wayback Machine kind of website, but I don't know any other website, so I'm sorry, it's lost media. They also sold crispy asparagus. Maybe it's a good thing they don't exist anymore. For the lonely people in the audience that still live in 2012, you can give them your phone number and they can call you, which just screams prank call potential. Just put your teacher's phone number and watch him get called 10 times during English class asking him for schnitzel. The website design once again had a change in 2013, stripping even further from the early 2000s aesthetic to an uninspired 3D user Oh no, wait. It actually looks pretty good. 2013 was an upgrade. We also got a look at some nice chicken dishes and even the cool design for the kids menu. What happened to the chain that it got this much of an upgrade? Well, this man happened. The former McDonald's Austria chef Christian Wimmer took over with the company Food for You. This happened because the Platzl brothers wanted to get into a new business venture, getting rid of all menu items that weren't pizza, switching them out with American fast food like burgers. Now, a lot of Schnitzelhaus restaurants that were placed right next to the Pizzamann stores got turned into Burger, the American way. Later on, this burger chain was renamed into Burgerista, and since 2017, they operate separately of the Platzl brothers, which I have eaten from both Pizzamann and Burgerista. While Pizzamann had an okayish pizza, Burgerista has really good burgers. But let's get back to Wimmer, who took over the chain, turning it into a joint, so they can operate better. He immediately started off by mocking Greece, with selling fake Greek salad and those weird Mexican schnitzel now as Greek schnitzel. And he don't even use his Greek olive oil. During this time, a lot of stores' contracts were dissolved. The new management from Food for You, as already mentioned, wanted to overwork the entire business by running all stores themselves, meaning they already had people that run the stores successfully, but decided to know better and took over management. In 2016 then, they once again switched their design and gave us another spicy schnitzel. I have to say that this new design looks really good. Maybe they do know how to run a fast food joint. Okay, next up in 2017, Food for You did a funny little thing called Stop Paying Their Bills. Food for You noticed after a few years of operating that running a joint isn't that easy. They even closed or lost a bunch of their locations with only 22 of 40 remaining. So they made their creditors a deal. They would let them run each restaurant themselves again after they got renovated and remodeled, which they also had to do themselves. But Food for You would take over 20% of the renovation expenses over the course of 5 years. This did not really work out, and the restaurant sadly closed down for good. There was one failed attempt of reopening the stores by a retired Austrian politician, but they also failed early on during the renovations in 2020. Right now, 8 years after closing, the URL schnitzelhaus.com is for sale. If anyone wants to buy it. You can also gift it to me if you want. The thing is, I never ate at Schnitzel House because my parents, if we wanted schnitzel, just made it themselves or went to a normal restaurant that sold schnitzel. And I thought this is why they closed down, just because nobody really saw the appeal of going to a fast food chain instead of just a normal guest house. But no, like most things, stupid people in power are the reason we suffer. Now the chain Schnitzel House is closed, but if you remember, Schindler kept 4 of his original locations in Vienna and operated them under a different name. Well, guess what I found after a quick Google search? A man called Helmut Schindler still operates 4 restaurants under the name My Schnitzel in Vienna. So you could actually go and still kinda experience what Schnitzel House used to be, but under the name My Schnitzel. Now all this fast food talk made me a bit hungry, so rev up those fryers!
I am sure hungry for one help!